Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Recently we have been getting a lot of messages asking us when will be the next episode of the series People Talking in Different Languages be published. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to inform everyone that the series has actually been discontinued. The reason behind that is not because we've run out of ideas, but mainly because it takes way too much time to film an episode, which results in a very low publishing frequency. As a result, it's not really worth it anymore to spend so much time on something that is not really appreciated by the community. But hey, don't worry, because there is something new coming up soon. It will take some time until then, but all good things come to those who wait, right? For now, however, we are going to do something different, something that can be done much quicker than making an entire episode from scratch. And this is basically a reaction video to other YouTubers, where they talk about languages just like we do. This time we are going to try it with a YouTuber who speaks in gawer. If you don't know what that language is, don't worry, because I had no clue myself until today. So basically, gawer is a variety show on YouTube spoken in a fictional language called Glazisch, which is a mix between German and Japanese. The idea was created by a guy named Alim, who also created the language itself. He did this in order to make fun of second language learners, who intentionally add random words from their native language into the language they are learning. But anyway, let's check this out. It's actually a pretty well-known series with over 360,000 subscribers and more than 70 million views on their most popular video. Just by watching the first few seconds of the video, you can already tell that this is going to be hilarious. Because in case you haven't noticed yet, gawer sounds a lot like a mixture between German and Japanese. Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go. First of all, when we start speaking, we usually say, let's start with a little bit of small talk. Here they just say, small talk begin, which again sounds exactly like how it would sound if a German person tried to speak Japanese. And I know that because I am half German myself, and I am also learning Japanese at the moment. I absolutely love how enthusiastic he is when saying, like, subscribe, comment. Like I wish my German subs were this excited. Next sentence was, today we are gonna talk about the weather, which in German would be heute wollen wir über das Wetter sprechen. And in Japanese, juri wa tenki wo hanasou to omoimasu, which kinda sounds like kyou wa tenki wo hanasou to omoimasu. But I am pretty sure I completely butchered that. Anyway, I get that he added a little u at the end of tenki to make it sound cuter, but still that doesn't sound quite right. But let's be honest, this is supposed to be funny, so adding a little u at the end of words is kind of part of the charm. Next question, where are you from? In German that would be woher kommst du? And in Japanese that would be where are you from? I guess they kind of combined both of them and came up with wohin kommst du, which literally translates to where do you come to? So not entirely accurate, but still pretty close. I also loved how he said cold, very cold, because it definitely sounds like something a German would say. I mean, I can literally hear my grandpa saying that. Also, rain, a little bit of rain, sounds like Regen, ein bisschen Regen, which would be rain, a little bit of rain, in German. Pretty good job. Then he asked, what's your name? Which in German would be wie ist dein Name, and in Japanese, what's your name kinda sounds like omae no namae wa nan desu ka, or something like that. I honestly have no idea how to read Japanese, so I could be completely wrong here. Then comes my favorite part, when he says my name is, it sounds like Zura ga shigoto desu, which in German would be mein Name ist Arbeit, which literally means my name is work. But it gets even better because his name is actually Ali, which in German would be Ali or Ali, and in Japanese it would be Ari or Ari. So this was actually meant to be a pun because his name is Ali. Brilliant. He then asked about the other person's age and said that he is 24 years old. I didn't really catch what the other person said, but it actually doesn't matter because if you want to say I am in Japanese, you would say watashi wa, which kind of sounds like washi wa. Pretty close, I would say. After that, they talked a little bit more about themselves, and then they moved on to a slightly more difficult topic, and that is food. When our protagonist says, I like pizza, it almost sounds like pizza ga suki desu, which in German would be pizza mag ich, which is a very casual way of saying I like pizza. In Japanese, though, it should be something like pizza ga suki desu, which sounds exactly like what he said, but in German it is not grammatically correct. Still, I love how he emphasizes certain words by putting them in katakana like that, because it's definitely something that happens in Japan. And when you look at his face, you can tell that he's having a lot of fun while doing this. That's always nice to see. After that, he ordered a pizza, and since this is a Japanese talk show, you need to use chopsticks while eating it. Of course, when the protagonist says, this tastes good, it sounds like oishi desu ne, which in German would be das schmeckt gut, nicht wahr? In Japanese, I'm pretty sure it should be oishi desu ne, or something like that. They then started talking about sports, and when the protagonist said, I love soccer, it definitely sounded like Saka ga daisuki desu, which in German would be Fußball liebe ich, but it's also very close to Saka ga taishimasu, which is basically the same thing in Japanese. They continued talking about soccer for a little bit longer, but then they suddenly switched to the topic of love and relationships. The German word for girlfriend is Freundin, but in Japanese it should be something like kanojo, which kind of sounds like konojo. But again, I might be completely wrong here because I literally can't read Japanese. The word for boyfriend is sretetete, which sounds like sretetete, and in German that would be Freund, but again very close. He then said, I have a girlfriend, which sounds like kanaju desu, which in German would be ich habe eine Freundin. But once again, this is not grammatically correct in Japanese. I enjoyed this video so much because it gave me the feeling as if I was watching a real Japanese talk show. Of course, everything was exaggerated for comedic purposes, but still, it was a great example of how German and Japanese can sound if you just combine the two together. Now, I got to admit that I couldn't understand every single word, because German and Japanese are obviously very different, but still it was entertaining to watch, and I learned a couple of new things. Not only does it sound adorable, but it is also really fun and creative. I can't believe someone actually came up with this idea, and if you think about it, it is actually a very smart thing to do, because people who speak German are definitely interested in Japanese and vice versa. So it is a win-win situation. I feel like there are a lot of opportunities to make content like this, and I really hope that the people behind this channel will continue to do so. This was truly entertaining. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, ja ne.